Hey there, Sagittarius. Welcome to your reading for the week of May 12th. You have this joy and pleasure card and this sacred ceremony card. I would definitely say that this is a week where we should be doing things to have more fun. You are the sign of fun, Sagittarius. So I think it is time to get back to your, Sagittarius self and do more fun things, have more fun, enjoy life more, all that other good stuff. You have the Magician, the Four of Cups, and the Six of Cups in your first row. The Magician is pointing towards this Eight of Cups, and that kind of is saying to me that for you to manifest or create or have whatever it is that you want in life, that there might be things that you have to walk towards, right? Or there might be something that you have to walk away from to get what you truly desire. And, sometimes I think with the Eight of Cups, that is definitely very true. That sometimes we stay in situations that aren't right, and we're afraid to walk away from them. That's the whole point of the Eight of Cups. But the act of walking away from something that isn't right is exactly the thing that will get us what we want. So the Magician is definitely saying that. Sometimes, not always, but sometimes I feel with the Magician that he represents needing to have a new beginning. He's card number one, and technically we look at the Fool as the card of needing to get started or needing to make a move on something. But sometimes I feel the Fool gets to the Magician, card number one, and he might be a little bit stuck in his next steps, right? And so I feel it's time for your next step. It's time for you to take some action. He has these tools in front of him. These are all the ace versions of all the suits in the tarot. And he might need to make sure that he's using the right tool for the job. So if you have been trying to create something or work on something in your life, and if it hasn't been working, the Magician can say that you might need to use a different tool. And so you have the Ace of Wands coming up, and the Ace of Wands could say that the tool you need to use is your creativity, right? Or being more creative at this time. You have the Four Cups. I feel just like general dissatisfaction for you here, Sagittarius, where it's like you could be feeling dissatisfied with the way life is going right now, or the way things are going in general in your life. I don't really feel good or bad about it. I do feel a little bit of boredom. So you could be dissatisfied with like the results you're getting in your life or the way things are going, like I said. And I feel like the Four Cups is saying, well, it's time to move in a different direction, or it's time to kind of make a move towards something bigger. And maybe that's why you're feeling bored, is because you're playing too small. And, it definitely seems to be a time where we should be playing bigger in life. I think this is definitely true because of Neptune and Pisces. Neptune is in Aries right now, but it's going to retrograde back into Pisces one more time. And Neptune and Pisces is the big impossible dream. It's like we could have these crazy ass ideas for our life, but we have to do it, right? And so we have to play bigger. We have to, make bigger moves and do things that scare us a little bit with the Eight of Cups. And if you do, it'll be worth it. So I would do it. You have the Six of Cups here. Yeah, like I said, fun, pleasure, joy. There are two children here on this cup, and it is a card of your inner child, or, kind of needing to be more playful. These children are being protected. They are inside these castle walls, and we have this guard that is guarding them. But again, sometimes I feel with the Six of Cups that we need to protect our play in life, because if we can't get that energy out, or if we can't fill our fun bucket, then we are going to suffer, right? And so this says if all you're doing is working, for example, then you could be feeling very bored, or you could be feeling a lack of inspiration. But the second you do something that you actually want to do, I think you will feel 1,000 times better. So I do feel this is like encouraging you to play more, or fill your fun bucket by doing fun things, or your hobbies, or things that you enjoy. And again, I don't think people realize like how much it'll change your life. So I would find something fun to do. With the Magician, you have the Page of Wands. Yeah, Page of Wands is about going on an adventure, going on a journey. It's funny that you go down from him. He would be here, and you go to the Eight of Cups. The Page of Wands, he doesn't really have a good reason for going on his adventure. He's a card of optimism and enthusiasm. He is just optimistic about an adventure, but he can't really prove that it will work or that it's a good idea. So, I feel it's time for you to enjoy yourself more, do something that you will enjoy more with your life, and also to go on adventures. You are Sagittarius. You are the sign of adventure. With the Four of Cups, I know what this is. You have the King of Swords. This is the adult crushing your dreams, but the adult inside of you, right? Like, I think we all do this. I do this sometimes, where it's like I come up with an idea that I might feel is like childlike, not like a child, but more an idea that would be more playful or fun, and it's like that adult inside of you comes out and says, you can't do that. You have to be serious, and you have to be an adult, and you can't experiment and play with life. So, I don't feel bad about him in your reading, but I definitely feel this is a person that you need to tell to be quiet, right? Inside of yourself. With the King of Swords, you need to tell that side of yourself that says, oh, that's not realistic. That's not, you can't do that in life or whatever. That's really the weird feeling I get on the King of Swords. I don't think the King of Swords is a person. I think the King of Swords is an energy in your reading, and it's kind of like that side of yourself that crushes your dreams. And, I feel like you need to tell that side to be quiet. With the Six of Cups, you have the Ten of Wands. Yes, same thing. Yeah, you probably have a lot of responsibilities. You probably have a lot of things to do where you're saying, I can't go have fun. I have to do all these things. But, that's why I always tell a story. I was stuck in my room for 4.5, 5 years and doing nothing with my life. And I wouldn't allow myself to have fun. I was punishing myself because I wasn't making money. Nothing happened that entire 5 years of my life. I basically wasted 5 years of my life, right? And really, things didn't start improving until I started going for walks, but then I started allowing myself to hang out with friends and do things, and my life got a million times better literally overnight. Once I started this channel is one of the first things I did during that period of time. And but I was also going out and having fun, right? And that's where all my good ideas came from. It wasn't from working, right? I was trying to work myself into something and trying to work past my problems. But the funny thing about life is I think when you actually try to work on your problems and you try to force them to correct themselves, they don't. And you can't make good decisions from that working place, I'm convinced. So we have to have hobbies. We have to enjoy ourselves. And again, if you're sitting there saying, well, I have all these responsibilities, I can't go have fun. You need to go have more fun more than anyone else. If you're saying you can't, then you definitely need to. And I'm not saying it's going to be easy, and it could be something small. Maybe you need to watch a movie tonight. Maybe you need to just go for a 5-minute walk, whatever it is. But I can promise you this, once you start moving forward, then things will get better, plain and simple. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this regeneration card and this serendipity card. You definitely could be going through healing. It's been a healing time. I would say since March, the energy has been all about healing, probably because we've been steamrolled by about, every planet and its mother went retrograde since November. So it's been a very difficult energy. And I think the universe is like, okay, now it's time to slow down and heal. And then once we get to the end of this month, we have the new moon on May 26th. And that usually when we have retrogrades, it's not until the next new moon that things really kind of, get moving again. So I would say that I think things are going to start feeling better now. But by the time we get to the 26th, I think things get way better, better than they have been. And I think this is saying, between now and then, heal. I love this serendipity card. This card is all about luck, and you've been getting these readings all about luck. And, it definitely seems to be a lucky time. Now, I get a million comments from Sagittarius saying, I haven't been lucky in years. I have miserable luck and blah, 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 blah. And number one, if you're talking like that, yes, you are going to have terrible luck. Number two, I think we have to create luck right now. It's not like you're getting lucky as in you're going to win the lottery. It's not that type of luck that we have right now. The type of luck that we have is if we take more chances right now, we will get lucky, right? So the way that I describe it is that it's kind of like baseball. If you swing the bat enough times, eventually you will get a home run, right? And I think we all need to be taking more chances because again, it's not that we're really getting lucky. It's just that if we take more chances, we will have a positive outcome at some point, right? And so I would encourage you to take more chances. You have the Page of Pentacles, the Eight of Cups, and the Five of Swords. Page of Pentacles is something new coming in for you, and so there definitely could be a new beginning with that Magician, the Ace of Wands also showing up here. Page of Pentacles wants you to learn. It's a great card of studiousness and learning, so I would learn as much as you can. I do also feel there could be love here. We go down To the King of Cups, Ten of Cups, we have the King of Pentacles here. It could be an earth sign or a water sign. Really, it could be any sign. This is a general reading, but I do feel it could be a very good connection. You even have the Nine of Swords here, and you might be thinking to yourself, the Nine of Swords is a terrible card, but it's showing up in the good stuff. And this would really tell me that you're like ending a negative cycle in love. So you could be getting into a connection that's like really good. You have the Eight of Cups. I think everybody is being asked to walk away from something that once supported us because of, we had Pluto go from Capricorn to Aquarius. Pluto, the cusp of Capricorn and Aquarius, is the death of establishment. So on a personal level, with Pluto and Aquarius, we are all being asked to innovate. We are being asked to do something new, or we are being asked to innovate something that has supported us. And it could be like some sort of activity that you do. It could be a part of your work. It could be your work. It could be your job. And again, this doesn't have to be a scary thing. He is scared. He is walking away from something that did provide him with support. Those 8 cups do provide him with something, but he knows it isn't right. So I always say, I wouldn't just quit a job right now. I would go get a job and then quit your job once you have something lined up, right? But definitely could be walking away from something with that card. You have the Five of Swords. Five of Swords can represent a separation or walking away from something, which, again, it definitely looks to me like you're being asked to walk away from something to have something better in your life. With the Page of Pentacles, you have 2 cards. You have the Six of Cups and the World. The World can be an accomplishment. The Six of Cups can be a turnaround. The Six of Cups is sometimes a gift from the universe. And I usually feel the gift we receive from the Six of Cups is a turnaround, meaning that we've been bumping up against an obstacle, and now the obstacle is being removed. So there definitely could be a turnaround coming in for you. The World is an achievement or an accomplishment, so it's like you are on the road to success here with these 2 cards is kind of what I feel. With the Eight of Cups, you have the Seven of Cups. Something isn't worth it any longer. This happens. This is the maturity side of things, right? With the King of Swords coming up in your reading. It kind of reminds me of sometimes I think we do things in life and we enjoy those things when we start doing them, whatever it is, but then we mature and we don't like it anymore. That's the feeling I get here. It's like there's something in your life that probably once fulfilled you, that once brought you joy, but maybe it doesn't any longer, and so you're just changing, right? It just looks like a change. With the Five of Swords, you have the Hermit. The Hermit is about kind of having gone through a dark night of the soul. And, that could make sense here where, this could be saying basically that you've been through a difficult period of time and now it's time to get out of that difficult period of time. Sometimes I think if we've been through enough pain, we kind of get used to it and then we actually stay in something that is causing us pain, like a lesson. It's like we can learn a lesson and then we can keep learning the lesson because we don't actually learn the lesson and apply what we learned. And so we stay in that painful position. And I feel like this is encouraging you to walk away from a lesson you learned, right? Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this Broken Open card and this Power of Purpose card. The Broken Open card would be the Hermit. She is shining her inner light on that Broken Open card. The Power of Purpose card says when you pick a purpose and you make it happen, then you will make it happen. So I think a lot of you could be discovering a purpose. I don't even think that it's discovering a purpose. I think you are kind of picking a goal and aiming towards it. There's this target on this card. So I feel like you are picking something that you are going to accomplish. Next, also in what is messages from your future self, you have this Nine of Cups, the Ace of Wands, the King of Cups, and the Ten of Cups. The Nine of Cups is wish fulfillment. The Ace of Wands is out with the old, in with the new. The whole entire reading basically says out with the old, in with the new. So a lot of you some sort of new beginning is going to lead to a lot of growth and probably excitement. With the Nine of Cups, we have to match the energy of what we want. So we have to be in the energy of the thing that we want to be before we can be it. And that's what this is encouraging. I also think the Ace of Wands is clearly encouraging you to move towards the new beginning and to walk away from whatever the Eight of Cups is. You have the King of Cups. The King of Cups can represent your emotions. It does seem to be like an emotional week. We do have a moon, the full moon in Scorpio on the 12th, which definitely could be emotional for sure. It is, a full moon in a water sign, so there could be a lot of emotions going on. The thing is that the King of Cups is about exploring your emotions to a very deep level. So it's kind of saying that it might be a good week to sit with your emotions and not really make any choices or decisions, but it might be a good time to feel into your emotions and really understand them and really understand what they're trying to tell you. And I feel like exploring how you feel about everything would be a really good idea with this card. So that's exactly what I would do. The King of Cups could also be a person. I think that if you are attracting a person, I think you're attracting more of a King of Pentacles type of person. But I do think they could have some elements of the King of Cups. They could be more open emotionally. The King of Cups on the positive side of things would be a person who has explored their emotions to a very deep level. And because of that, they know how they feel. They don't react emotionally. They are very stable emotionally. You have the Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups can represent fortune after difficulty, or good things happening after a difficult period of time, which I definitely feel here. The Ten of Cups can also represent happy home, happy family. So if you're trying to have a family, definitely could be, this could be you attracting a person that you will have a family with in the future. I kind of feel something about like realism here. I kind of said this on the King of Swords. It's like the Ten of Cups isn't a bad card, but sometimes these people, they might be ignoring the real world too much. They might be just dreaming about those 10 cups or imagining those 10 cups, but they're not really here, grounded in reality. And I kind of get that feeling on this card. It's like on one hand, I feel the King of Swords is saying, do not crush your own dreams, right? But on the other hand, the King of Swords. And on the other hand, I feel like the King of Swords could also be good, and two things can be true at once. So, and I know that's a hard concept for some people to grasp, but two energies can be true at once. The reading can say that you need to not crush your dreams, but also the reading can say you need to add some balanced, logic to the Ten of Cups. So I feel both things is what I'm trying to spit out here, and I feel like it's saying, don't crush your dream, maintain the dream, but like, what is the first step that you can take to have it? And that's what I would be thinking about with that card. With the Ace of Wands and the Nine of Cups, you have the Three of Swords. Yeah, it's like there's something you have to heal about that Eight of Cups. It's such a weird reading because it's like there's this childlike energy. It's like part of it is good, part of it I feel like could be not really bad, but just something that you're working with. Three of Swords, we have to remove those swords from our own heart so that we can heal. So the Three of Swords, we usually have to practice forgiveness to be able to move in the right direction or get the right things in life. And, I think practicing forgiveness with this card would be a great idea. With the King of Cups, you have the Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands is a card of like spontaneous energy or being spontaneous. And, to me, the Knight of Wands is your true energy, Sagittarius. Like, I think this is Sagittarius's true nature, is to be an explorer, to go on adventures, to be more happy-go-lucky, also to be like a builder in some ways. I look at the Knight of Wands as the true builder in the tarot. If he comes to an obstacle and he doesn't know how to overcome it, he will learn how to build something to overcome the obstacle. And, I think a lot of you could be getting back to your true, like, adventurous self here. I also feel like I said this to you in your most recent reading, but I get this feeling that, if you have been working on something new already, that this is going to turn into something much bigger than you think. And I'm not trying to be dramatic here, as I always say, but, it's like if you randomly started a podcast recently or a YouTube channel, it's like I think that it's like it's going to be much bigger than you think. I think it's going to be something that will be a much bigger part of your life than you realize. And yeah, there you go. And I would, keep doing it, whatever it is. With the Ten of Cups, you have the Knight of Swords. I would be careful of a person who's trying to rush a relationship. I actually feel pretty good about this, but, don't rush. Knight of Swords is too hasty. He's trying to make decisions too quickly. I feel like there could definitely be love coming in for you, like, this summer. It might not be, like, this week, but if you meet a person, they might want to move faster than you, but I would take your time and not rush. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this Cut Your Losses card and this Avoid Drama card. And it's funny that I just said not trying to be dramatic, but I would definitely avoid drama. It definitely seems like you're cutting your losses. 8 of Cups to the Ace of Wands, out with the old, in with the new. This is coming up in the good stuff. And this kind of gives me a little bit of a like blessing in disguise type of feeling. You could be realizing that walking away from something, 8 of Cups, 7 of Pentacles coming up together, could actually be a blessing in disguise. You have the King of Pentacles, the Fool, and the 9 of Swords. The King of Pentacles can be a card of stability. I do feel pretty good about this. I didn't feel this at the beginning of the reading. I felt like this was a person, but I do feel a lot of you are doing things that really could be stabilizing your finances in the future. But again, this could be like a side hustle that you've recently started, or if you're thinking about starting a side hustle, it would be a really good idea. I will say this, Sagittarius. Every Sagittarius I know has a side hustle. Why? I don't know. But literally every Sagittarius in my life has like a YouTube channel or, does Uber or, something on the side. So, again, if you're thinking about doing something on the side, I think it would be very beneficial. I think it would probably stabilize your finances in the future. I do feel this could also be a person. King of Pentacles is very stable and secure on the positive side of things, and it's coming up in the good stuff. A King of Pentacles type person would want something, that lasts forever. So, they really put in the work to make things work, which is good. You have the Fool. The Fool is about, like I said, needing to have that new beginning with the Magician. We go Fool, Magician, High Priestess, so on and so forth. So I feel that it would be a good time for you to take a leap of faith here with the Fool card in a new direction. And yeah, I just think it'll work out well. You have the 9 of Swords. I feel like you're avoiding something in the future here. 9 of Swords is, I consider to be the most challenging card in the tarot, but it's coming up in the good stuff, so it looks to me like you are avoiding a negative cycle, or you're avoiding something that could be negative in the future if you didn't avoid it. So again, I feel really good about this 9 of Swords. I feel like this could be leading to a lot more like growth and success for you, because maybe in the good stuff this would say that you are taking control of your situation. The problem with the 9 of Swords is that he's having a nightmare and he's just stuck in a nightmare, but he could easily get out of bed, but he's not. So in the good stuff, this would kind of say that you are taking control of something that maybe has been repeating and you're moving past it. And with the King of Pentacles, here you go. You have the 2 of Cups. Definitely could be a perfect match coming in for you if you want love. 2 of Cups is usually a person that's different than your usual type. I think I said this to you recently, Sagittarius. I'm getting like odd couple. I literally think maybe it wasn't the last reading, but maybe the last weekly reading I did for the week of the 5th. I feel like I said this to you recently. It's almost like I get an odd couple vibe here, but like I said, sometimes that works really, really well. So there could be like some sort of difference between the two of you that makes you an odd couple, but I don't know. If it works, it works. With the Fool, you have the 3 of Wands. 3 of Wands is a card of expansion. Like I said at the beginning of the reading, it is not time to play small. We all are being asked to exceed our own expectations at this time. So anything you can do to do that will make you a lot more successful in the future. And, we all have to do things that we think we can't do right now. That's kind of like a secret to the energy, is I think that we have to face those things that we're just a little bit afraid of. I'm not talking about anything, that's going to hurt you. I'm talking about like little things where you've just never done it before. And, I really don't, I'm speaking very generally because I don't have a good example, but, anything you can do that pushes you out of your comfort zone is going to lead to the most growth. Yes, with the 9 of Swords, you have the 10 of Swords. 10 of Swords is literally a blessing in disguise, especially in the good stuff. He's making this symbol right here with his hands, and it's the same symbol the Hierophant is making on his card, and it represents a blessing. So some of you definitely could be having some sort of blessing in disguise this week, or there is a blessing coming in for you. You have this mice card. It says discord among family or friends. I'm not really getting that, although I do think Sagittarius has dealt with discord among family and friends. I feel this is saying don't get caught up in the tiny little details. Mice can be a symbol of like just the tiny little things that don't really matter, and that's the message that's popping into my head with this card. I'm not really getting, I'm not saying that there aren't problems with family or whatever, but I feel this is more talking about tiny little details that you need to kind of not get caught up in. You have this barrel card. It says you feel something is lacking in your life, perhaps love, money, or goals. So whatever you feel like is lacking, I would definitely work on that, on whatever that thing is in your life, because you'll probably be able to improve it. You have this love card. Yes, definitely love showing up in this reading. There's something unusual about it. It's like I don't know. It's like maybe you're 5 feet tall and you're dating someone who's 7 feet tall. It's like I feel like there's some sort of odd couple vibe. Maybe you're 30 years old and they're 67, right? So I don't know. There's something weird about this. Does it? I think it's good though. It's like I think you will be very happy. So don't let that kind of steer you away from this. Yeah, you have this spiritual love card. So definitely could be like a spiritual connection coming in for you. Like I said, it feels really good. Two of Cups is you and your higher self. So as far as love is concerned, it would be a spiritual connection. You have this haystack card. It says, karma, you will reap what you have sown. I feel like there's a lot of positive karma coming in for you with this card. So yeah, I definitely like to see that. But this looks really good, Sag. I don't know. I feel good about this one. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your week.